Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about a guitarist that some of you may know, some of you may not know. His name is Robben Ford. He's been going at it for a while. You know, he worked with George Harrison and the Beatles at one point. I believe, was it Yellow Jackets, I think was the name of the band he was in? Yeah, Yellow Jackets. I did not know about him till a few years ago. When I found his original signature guitar, he actually helped Fender design this thing. I'm just going to pull one of them up. So there's actually like 3 versions of this particular guitar. I think this is a lefty, or maybe someone modified it or something. I'm wondering why the strap is there, unless that's just where he puts the strap button. But there's several versions of this guitar. So it started off with a 1-year Fender model, which is a 1984 Fender Flame. Whoops, let's see here. Fender Flame. That looked like this. So, I mean, this is what it looks like. And if you can find one of these for under $1,000, go for it, because that's about what they sell for. To my knowledge, this is like a 1 or 2 year guitar, maybe like 84 to 88. There you go. They made it for like 4 years. This was then replaced with the Fender. It was called a Fender E-Spirit, which essentially looks like the same thing. The pickups are a little bit different. And then we do end up getting the Fender Robben Ford guitar. And there were a couple of, I believe it actually says Robben Ford on the top. It does. And he could design this guitar to my knowledge of it anyway. And then he modified it a couple of times. They renamed it a couple of times. There's not a whole lot of information on them. They call them the Master Series. I was lucky enough to actually get my hand on one of those at one point and play it. I didn't, unfortunately. I wasn't able to buy it at the time. I was checking out a motorcycle. The story behind that is the guy's stepdad passed away. He was trying to get rid of a motorcycle, and I walked into a crap ton of guitars, and I was just so overwhelmed, just so excited. I almost didn't buy the motorcycle, but then I did end up buying the motorcycle at the time. And I wanted to try to do a deal with some of the guitars, but by the time I did the math and everything, you know, it would have been like upwards of $15,000. Like, he had a lot of American Fender stuff, a lot of left-handed stuff that I wasn't really going to be able to do anything with as being a righty. He was more of a bass player than a guitarist. Had a couple of cool amps. But it was just, I mean, even if, no, I didn't get to buy anything, it was just a great experience getting to see all of that cool old gear from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that the guy had lying around. I think he ended up giving it to Guitar Center, which kind of sucks. But I did get a chance to play it, which was pretty neat. Sounded really cool. And now he's back in the news because he has a new PRS model. So he kind of did the whole John Mayer thing. I do see a lot of Fender artists going to PRS. They jump around. But it's expensive. Apparently he has a new amp and a new guitar. Both very expensive. It says Hendrix expired tube head. So PRS has recently announced its first effects pedal, but have loaded the new release canon again, which is a special signature electric guitar, but a new tube amp too, with a limited edition Robben Ford McCartney and the HDRX Hendrix 20 head. So the Ford McCartney was first rumored last year. We're going to be limited to 200 guitars in 2022. So expensive, limited, probably a collector's market for these if you can afford them. Alongside Robben Ford signature pickups, it features are based on the musician's feedback on preference. These are reflected in a modified control layout with a single volume and tone, three-way toggle pickup selector, and a single mini toggle. I mean, you can see that on the Fender Flame here. Similar specs minus the 4. So 22 fret, 25-inch scale length guitar. To my knowledge, the Fender Flames were the still full scale length. Features a patterned mahogany neck with African blackwood fretboard, vintage style tuners, and Paul Reed Smith's hand-signed headstock, Robben Ford hand-signed backplate. As a guitarist, everything is important, says Ford. All the details have impacted the willingness of Paul and everyone at PRS to dig deep and refine. Based on my feedback as an artist, has been priceless. As far as the price, we're seeing in the UK for 5,000 euros, and you're looking at $4,750. So definitely not light of heart. Let's go ahead over down to the old, and it is a nice black guitar. I mean, that's the gist of it. It is just like a solid black guitar with his touches on it. And I don't think is there any major cutaway on the back of this thing? Yeah, there's a nice cutaway back there. But it's something where I think this is probably going to be collectible in the future, being they're only releasing 200 of them. I probably would buy one of these because you don't really see a whole lot of PRSs without a tremolo on them. I'm actually very surprised he doesn't have the intonatable tailpiece on there. This is just kind of, I mean, it's intonated. I think they call it like a lightning bolt bridge or something like that. But it's not the best for intonation, especially on a guitar of this price point. I think that I would swap out for one with adjustable saddles. But not sure what the mini toggle does. Let's see if we can see what the mini toggle actually does here. Let's go to specs. Let's see, Robben Ford, maple, mahogany, nitrocellulose lacquer, which is always nice. One-piece mahogany set in. Let's see, does it say what the tailpiece does? Yeah, PRS vintage style. Brass inserts are always nice. Two-way mini switch. It's a coil split in 3 ways, so no push pulls. I guess he prefers the actual flip of the switch for the coil split. But, and a lot of people are talking about the Fender Vintage Series right now. I just wanted to talk about this because, I don't know if I would say I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his guitars. I don't know if I'm a fan of his music. I'll be honest with you. I really liked that Fender Flame. I should have bought the thing. Now he has this cool PRS, and I really like this too, minus the bridge. But my pockets aren't that deep, so PRS, if you're paying attention, do me a favor, get an SE model of this for around that $800 mark, which that's just usually where you put them, $800-900, and I can probably get one of those. It's been a while since I've bought a brand new guitar. Most of what I buy is used these days. But yeah, there you have it. That's where we're going to end it. Short one today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Maybe I'll do that Fender vintage video this weekend or something for the Saturday video, or I'll probably end up doing it on Friday because Saturday's now packed with like 3 different things. So much anime, I know, for all the people that like both of my channels. But yeah, subscribe, comment, like, all that fun stuff. My name's Steve Gray, Gray's Guitars. Have a good one.